Welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast with Scott McKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
Hey, thank you very much for joining the Industrial Talk Podcast. Absolute honor that you have joined a platform, this platform, that is dedicated to you, the women and men of industry and manufacturing. You're bold, you're brave, you dare greatly, you innovate. Boy, do you innovate. You're changing lives around the world. That's why we celebrate you on this podcast pretty much all the time. That's right, pretty much all the time, because you deserve it. You're heroes. That's right, you're heroes. I'm laying that gauntlet down. You are heroes. Another interview, Heroes of Manufacturing. We're celebrating a great individual by the name of Dave Boyer and Team Rudolph Libbe Group, and what they've been doing through this whole, COVID, next normal, new normal, whatever normal. But we're celebrating them on Heroes of Manufacturing. Let's get a-crackin'. Yeah. Another. I mean, come on. We just got to celebrate these manufacturing heroes. You just got to be bold, brave, and dare greatly. Be out there, man, and celebrate these individuals, because they're giving it their all. They're working hard to just make it successful, this whole next normal, successful for everybody, because, quite frankly, we need them. I don't have the ability to be able to do what they do, and they do a great job, and they're there to help us through this incredible and unique time we call pandemic, post-pandemic, next normal, two-finger death punch, drop kick. I don't know what you want to call it, but it didn't feel good. But people like Dave and the rest of these heroes in manufacturing are absolutely spectacular. That's why we celebrate. You know that. All right, a couple of things. One, we're going to gear up on our lives, the LinkedIn lives. We're going to have a different type of approach, more of a, for lack of a better example, a roundabout type table of individuals, industry professionals, using more of that sports analogy, sort of popping these questions. So be on the lookout for that. And as well as go out to industrialtalk.com. And then there's a number of events that are scheduled that I think you need to be aware of. And we're going to highlight them on these lives. And you'll get the notification. That's one thing. And please, the reason why we're doing these lives is the fact that I want to be able to pepper these professionals with questions that are meaningful to you, because it's about you. That's right. This doggone platform is about you. So that's one. And then, of course, the events that are taking place. We've got an event that's taking place with Fluke Reliability, IIoT World, you name it, it's happening out there. They are virtual, and you're going to be hearing a lot from this particular podcast, and we're going to be highlighting those individuals. So be on the lookout for them. I'm telling you, they're at the cutting edge. And I mean cutting edge of what we're talking about, from Industry 4.0, reliability, transportation, IIoT, AI, you name it, boom. You're going to be hearing from the best of the best. So be on the lookout for that. And you're just saying to yourself, again, Scott, doggone it, how do I get involved with Heroes of Manufacturing? Because I like what you're doing. Go out to heroesofmanufacturing.com. Easy peasy. Just make sure you spell heroes correctly, which I didn't do because, well, I'm lousy at spelling. But now I do. Heroesofmanufacturing.com. You need to go out there. You need to say, yeah, Scott, I got somebody to nominate. Great. Boom. Click on that doggone link. Or two, hey, Scott, I just want to be just support. Boom. There it is. Heroes of Manufacturing. Or you can just go out to industrialtalk.com. And then you look over here on the right-hand side. You look at that podcast. Boom. Click on it. You'll see Heroes of Manufacturing. All of the people that have been on and who have been celebrated on the Heroes of Manufacturing, they're there. Yeah. All right, let's get on with the interview. Dave Boyer, that's B-O-Y-E-R. He is the Regional Vice President of Rudolph Libbe Group. Now, Rudolph, R-U-D-O-L-P-H, Libbe, L-I-B-B-E, Group. I'm not going to spell that for you just because I think you might be able to know how to spell that. And we were talking about what his organization, Team Rudolph Libbe's been doing throughout this particular challenge. This is when I was up in Northeast Ohio, brought to you by the incredible people at Team Neo, who is they're just focused on bring it back, bring it in, economic development, Northeast Ohio. They are absolutely spectacular. Wonderful people, wonderful company, as I always say. All right. Dave Boyer. We had a good time. I was broadcasting from the Hyatt. No, not just check that. Hilton, both with an H. And this was the new Hilton that's been around for a couple of years, right on the riverfront. Beautiful location, but it was really odd because there was nobody around. All right. You get to see it. If you're looking at it on a video, you get to see it. All right. Dave Boyer is in the hot seat, the Heroes of Manufacturing hot seat. Enjoy. Dave, welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast. Absolute honor that you had found time in your hermetically sealed home to meet and talk to the listeners of the Industrial Talk Podcast. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing great, Scott. How about yourself?
Thank you for asking. I am broadcasting from the northern operations of the Industrial Talk Podcast from beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. Fantastic people, great. I mean, I can't complain. Why could you wouldn't listen to me if I was complaining, would you? Because no. I wouldn't complain. See, you wouldn't. See, why would you, right? Anyway, hey, for the listeners out there, Dave, let's level set. Let's get a little 411 on why Dave is such an incredible professional and your background. Boom, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what your organization does.
So, background: went to school at Syracuse University for construction management. Orangeman, that's right.
You need another Jim Brown, baby.
Exactly right. Yeah,
something.
So I moved to Cleveland in '93 and been working in the industrial construction market for over 25 years now. Been with Rudolph Libbe Group for over 16 years and manage all operations for Northeast Ohio for the company.
This is interesting because I've been very fortunate to be able to interview a lot of manufacturers, right? And one of the reasons why we're having a conversation is because of Team Neo, which is a organization that is focused on economic development for the Northeast Ohio area. And one of the things that I've just really enjoyed is the level of professionalism, the level of passion for this area from people from everybody. I mean, I figure I'm going to pack my bags and move on up here just because, well, everybody's so excited about it. But one of the areas that we have not really explored in many of the conversation is, so let's say I'm a manufacturer and I go, man, I sure like what was happening up in Northeast Ohio. I want to build a place. And we never really talk about that. There's an empty building there, but maybe I want to really start or even, retrofit an existing building. Give us a little background on what that's all about. Your company does that.
Yeah, so we do a lot of site selection work. So we help customers get there, look at incentives, look at different opportunities, look at constructability of renovating an existing building or building a new facility. Work, a lot of collaboration with economic development groups, Team Neo, real estate, business development folks around the region to try to bring business into town here.
Now, why is that important? Why is it important to see, this is the biggest deal that I would get, right? Is that, yeah, I can move into a building or I can, but that's just the beginning of it. Your organization does a lot more. Can you sort of expand upon that?
Yeah, so we'll, like I mentioned, we'll do site selection. We'll find the right property for a customer, right existing building, whatever it happens to be. We will then, we can construct a new facility. Look at the demands the customer has for transportation in the area, and then building buildings is one portion of our business, but we spend a lot of our energy on the process side of our customers' business. So whether they're looking at an existing facility or a new facility, we look at their process first, and then we say, okay, what building or what structure, what site do you need to have the best performance of your product, right? So that's kind of our focus, which may be a little different than others, is we spend a lot of time focusing on the process. And then once we get a building shell complete, then we'll install the process equipment. And then for the full life cycle of a facility, we will perform maintenance of the process equipment as well as facility maintenance.
I think that, listeners, I think that it's not a slam on you by any means, but I just want to make sure that they don't gloss over this, the fact. Now, site selection is key, and it starts with where you want to put your facility, why that facility, is it near railroads, is it near water, is it what's around that particular location that makes that site exceptional for long-term success. Because what I hear you saying is that if I came to you and I manufacture whatever, and you could take that whole process, my manufacturing process, and be able to also create a value proposition around the siting of the location for optimal success in the future. Is that what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. Yeah. In Northeast Ohio, like you mentioned, brings the water, brings good transportation, good natural resources, right? Natural gas is very, we're on top of it in Northeast Ohio. So a lot of value in this area.
And a lot of value and a lot of pain relief, because I've been a part of some other opportunities where we're siting and trying to figure out the site and there's a point where working with professionals like you and others to be able to site my location for long-term success is truly a powerful thing, because I'm not going to sit there and say I'm going to be investing my over $20 definitely into this particular location, and I'm not going to be assured of. I'm going to do everything I can to ensure success, and that's what's great about what you guys are talking about. Now, when we start talking about, so I can just come to you and say, "Hey, Dave, we're thinking of this. Give us a hand. Let's start going forward." And what is interesting to me, I can sit there and hang out with you for the duration of my career, theoretically, and achieve success. So not only do you build buildings, you also do you can also install all of the process equipment and everything associated with. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's like in many cases we build the building. Some cases the owner has another contractor that may build a building shell, and they walk away, and then we come in and provide a full process turnkey solution. So we can provide the engineering, installation of process equipment, precision alignment of that equipment, and then all the supporting utilities, right? So electrical, piping, whatever the needs are, hydraulics, air, full turnkey to get that process installed and operational for the customer.
Are there any I guess market segments that you're not really focused in on, or pretty much anything? Food, let's say food manufacturing. Can you do that?
Yes. Yeah. Any type of manufacturing or industrial business in Northeast Ohio, we're actively involved in those types of markets right now. So chemicals been very busy. Metals are a little bit down due to the current environment. Automotive is down, has been down, starting to climb back up, but, metals is related to automotive. Chemicals been pretty strong. Food is, a little bit more recession proof than some of the other markets.
Yeah, especially in the COVID, because I had the classic COVID-25 during my hermetically sealed days, and I found I love barbecue chips. Have no reason why, but it's like a rediscover of barbecue chips.
Food and beverage is hot right now, right?
Yes, it is, and I am a market that can definitely attest to that. Now, once we have the equipment in there, right, it doesn't stop there, because one of the areas that I'm passionate about is a truly robust, ongoing, reliability, maintenance-centered approach to your business. long-term value. But if you're creating it in the beginning, deploy it now. Now, you're saying your organization can definitely address that too as well.
Correct. Yeah. So if it's a case where we install the equipment, then we'll start right out with preventative maintenance plans, and look forward, from installation forward, and how to optimize that equipment so the customer's getting their best productivity. In a case where it's an older facility or we didn't install the equipment, we'll come in, we'll do an assessment of the process equipment. So we'll look at things like temperature, impact, vibration, fatigue, wear, whatever happens to be going on. We use different technology to look at different issues with process equipment. But we'll come in, do an assessment, give the customer a game plan going forward, whether it's immediate repairs or a PM plan for them to go forward. And we've gotten really good feedback from customers after we get in there, do an assessment, and start doing PMs for them. They've seen a major increase in their productivity and a decrease in downtime.
It is a no-brainer. It is always fascinating to me to have a reliability-centered culture within your organization and how to sustain that. And what I've found that if you're an organization that ventures down that road, you're always looking for that, well, when do I see the benefits? And so you're at the front end where you can begin seeing the benefits sooner than later, which is really interesting. And it's proven. There's no reason why you should argue against having a strong, robust reliability culture in your organization. There's no reason, because it is bottom line value. It is makes complete and utter sense. So don't come to me and say that it doesn't, because it's baloney. Absolute baloney. Now, with reliability, of course, I'm sure you're aware of manufacturing 4.0, industrial 4.0, all the digital transformation people that are out there, and devices and IoT. Where do you stand with all of that particular component? Because that's also part of reliability.
Right. Well, we're seeing different levels of involvement depending on the market, depending on the customer. Certainly the technology has been out there for a while for more on the building side, yep. Right? The HVAC equipment, all that stuff. The data collection is there for that, and it's different across the board for different manufacturers on the process side. Some of the OEMs are getting involved in it's more of a purchase now. When you purchase the equipment, you've got the option to collect data, but then in some cases there's the older equipment where how do you retrofit something that wasn't originally built that way and monitor it?
Yeah.
So it's kind of across the board depending on industry and customer.
I think the bottom line, Dave, is how do you keep that valuable process asset up and running as long as you possibly can, as efficient as you possibly can, not having that catastrophic failure because you're not doing your job or whatever, and managing that asset. That's the key. And you can't help but realize financial benefits associated with that strategy. You just can't, no matter where you are on that journey. Now, are you pretty much agnostic, or you don't lean to it? So, for example, when we start talking about a robust maintenance and PM program and all of the good stuff that's associated with reliability, it has to go someplace. It has to go into a system. Are you agnostic to a system, and do you help manufacturers select a enterprise asset management system?
Yeah, so we could help with that, and we're not single source in that per se, right? So there's different applications for different customers, and many customers already have something that they want to utilize, or there's different fits for different types of operations.
Yeah, and it's hard not to get involved, I would imagine, because I mean, on your part, you put a lot of the sweat equity up front. You get that asset running at top efficiency, and you want to keep it rolling forward. And that's where a lot of the reliability and maintenance programs begin to fail, because it goes someplace, and then they don't like it there, and it doesn't diminish the value of what needs to be done out in the field, but they don't like going, and it's an interesting marriage. You need that technology to be able to support that program, to be able to proactively communicate the necessity that you got to do something, and you get the health of that asset going forward. It's interesting.
Right. Yeah. You got to do something with the data once you get it, right? And then
you do, and you don't want people just pencil whipping it, because they will pencil whip it. They'll pencil whip that information in a jet second. And yeah, you can put that on a maintenance bumper sticker, pencil whip. Stop it. Don't do it anymore. All right, so let's shift gears a little bit, and let's talk a little bit about COVID and your organization. How has that sort of impacted your business?
So, I think it was a learning curve for everybody, right? That nobody's dealt with this in the past. So.
Yeah, my business continuity plan did not have global pandemic where the world just shut down. And one day I was just rocking and rolling, and then like a switch, the next day is like, all right, go home, get yourself in a Ziploc bag. You're protected now.
That's right. Yeah. So we built pretty quickly built a COVID management team. A group of a combination of safety professionals, human resources people, some operations people, got some procedures in place very quickly. A lot of safety measures, obviously. One of our core values is commitment to safety. Another one is regard for people. Managing COVID applies to both of those, right? So how do we keep our people safe? How do we keep our customers' people safe?
Yeah.
We come up with a lot of procedures very quickly on how to do that. So we've adapted as best as we could, but one impact that we have is we work inside of customers' facilities every day.
Yeah.
They want the least amount of outside people. Like ourselves, we don't want many of our own people in our facility, right? If you can work from home, we want you to work from home. So people don't. Customers don't want visitors right now. They want to minimize that unless the item is really critical. They're holding off on some regular maintenance type activities. So that's impacted our business a little bit.
Yeah, and they're sweating that asset. You're absolutely spot on, and I don't blame them. them. I'm not. I mean, come on, you can't. They've already been hammered hard with the virus itself, the pandemic itself, and you don't want to run the risk. You're sort of, okay, I'm limping along. I'm sort of, I'm surviving right now. I'm not making, but I'm surviving, and I'm looking to rebound and rebuild, but I got to stay surviving mode for a little while, and I just can't bring people in. And that's a big deal, especially when you're you've got such a maintenance service offering such as yourself. And it's been an interesting time because it's not just manufacturing, it's all processes across the world that they've just shut down a lot of their maintenance, and that's not good. I mean, it's not good. It's going to bite them in the tukish one of these days, man. And you don't want that. And that's why it's interesting, because that's why some of the people or our companies are looking at possibly, because they were blind when they couldn't get to their facility, and then they're looking for ways of being able to assess the health of that facility in a way that I don't have to compromise or go down there. That's a real interesting challenge, and you have to do that, right?
Right, exactly.
Because,
go
ahead.
Yeah, so we've got our own COVID management procedures in place, and then we go into a facility, and the customer may be more stringent or less stringent than we are, or have some different ideas on how they want to do things. So we need to be flexible and adapt our plan to their plan.
Yeah, and that's good. You have to, because it's your customer.
Absolutely.
And you're not going to sit there and go, nope, we don't do it that way. Good luck. No, you're not going to do that, because everybody, and I mean everybody here in Northeast Ohio, there's such a spirit of collaboration and a spirit of desire to really help people succeed. It's important. It's not just important to the business. It's important to the families. It's important to the people. It's important to the community. There's just so much associated with that. With that said, I've been, me personally, apparently I'm a big homer for Northeast Ohio now for people. The talent pool here is pretty good. What do you think about that?
Fantastic. Yeah, we do a lot of work with the local universities and colleges, do a lot of co-op programs with the schools. So we'll, some of the schools have co-op programs established, some don't. We'll work with either type of university, but it's an opportunity for us to bring in some talented young people, show them what we do, see if they have an interest for the type of work that we do, and then we get an idea of their talent level. They get paid obviously for the opportunity, so great situation for both parties. And then we have an opportunity, hopefully at an early stage, to identify some good talent and then bring them into the organization as soon as they graduate.
Yeah, people talk a lot about the gray tsunami, right? People are retiring. I'm not sure if that's the case now. However, there's this gray tsunami, and that means how do I backfill? And then how do I track the right talent? And and strategies around that to just keep, because when I've spoken to many people are specifically about this particular environment, they want to know how to retain talent, the right talent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's important because you don't want to just anybody. So the right talent, manage my risk, either eliminate it or build a wall around it, save money, make money, and be more resilient. And I'm finding that many of the organizations here in Northeast Ohio follow that sort of that cadence. You've got great talent. You've got ability to truly manage your risk because you've got a robust supply chain that exists. I don't have to, that's a whole nother conversation to have about sourcing. And I used to get it over here. What am I going to do? But it's here. And then it's very competitively. So there's a way of being able to save money. And of course, ideally make money going forward. But I'm telling you, man, let me just sort of flip over my note. It's the next normal.
There you go. Right. Well, and it's challenging right now. We're trying to onboard people. Yeah. We're encouraging whoever can work from home. We want them to work from home in our organization right now. So we're trying to, onboard people and train people remotely. Right. So we're doing, it's a little tough not having the face-to-face personal touch when you're trying to onboard, so somebody coming right out of college and trying to teach them everything that you can virtually, right? That's a challenge.
It is, but it has to happen. I mean, for the foreseeable future, it's whatever. Maybe this next normal is that we just virtually just live in our Ziploc bag.
Yeah. We're seeing opportunities too, right? For we've got 5 different offices. We do work in a lot of areas. If we can in the future, we've learned how to do business this way, right?
Yes.
So there's opportunity there where we can be more efficient. With our money, with our customers' money. Down the road.
Yeah, no, you're right on the money on that particular conversation. Absolutely. All right, Dave, we're going to have to wrap it up. Are you active out there on LinkedIn?
Yes, sir.
All right, you listeners out there, you got to reach out to Dave. I'll give you all of the contact information on the other side. I do. So you do not walk away because we're going to wrap it up on the other side. Dave, thank you very much for joining the Industrial Talk podcast. You are absolutely stellar. I enjoy exactly what you guys are doing and how you're contributing to Northeast Ohio.
Thank you, Scott. Have a great day.
Hey, thank you very much. And listeners, once again, please stay tuned. We're going to wrap it up on the other side. I'll have all the links and contacts for Dave and company. So stay tuned.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
All right, a big hearty thank you to Dave Boyer. That's Boyer. Go out to his stat card on LinkedIn. You'll be impressed. He's got mad skills. I'm just telling you. I'm looking at it and I'm going, oh, man, I don't even rank. But go out to him. Reach out to him. And if there's a couple of Dave Boyer, remember to put in Rudolph Libbe Group. You'll find him. Got a little goatee looking pretty fancy pants. All right. You're going to ask yourself, Scott, once again, how do I get involved? You're going to go out to industrialtalk.com. You can find out how to get involved there. You can go up to the right-hand side, say, yeah, Scott, I want to get involved with Heroes of Manufacturing. I'll reach out to you. Or go out to heroesofmanufacturing.com. And it's all out there, too. And you'll be able to find Dave, as everybody else is. And that's why we're celebrating these wonderful people. All right. Be on the lookout for things that are absolutely spectacular and changes that are taking place with industrialtalk.com. Again, be bold, be brave, dare greatly. Change the world. That's what we're about. Talk to you soon.